Greetings and welcome, one and all. I am Dr. Wolf, and today I'd like to discuss my thoughts and experiences on relationships. Now, to be honest, I've been wanting to address this topic for many months now, but early on I realized that I'd need help to do so. After all, I can really only provide a male's perspective on the subject. And thus, I thought to ask my lady about whether she'd be willing to voice her thoughts and experiences as well. But having such a deep-rooted Fluttershy personality, the very idea of recording her voice for all to hear made her feel, well... So, do you know what she suggested instead? Seek some help from the only female brony YouTuber I know who is already married and ask whether she might be willing to provide a voice for my lady, as well as add some of her own experiences. What say you, Lightning Bliss?
I say I'm happy to help and thank you for this opportunity to share with you my thoughts on this deep topic. This has been one topic that has crossed my path on a few encounters with friends, so being able to speak about my experiences with another fellow married brony will be very interesting.
Interesting? Most certainly. And yet it can also be confusing, overwhelming, and even at times downright frightening. Although, do you suppose your husband would mind us talking about this subject?
Not to worry, dog. Far as he's concerned, it's Dr. Wolf. I think he knows there's nothing to worry about with you.
Fair enough. Though that's actually a good point to start on. When thinking about a relationship, you have to ask yourself, what would my significant other think if he or she saw me act this way, or talk about this personal topic, or make a momentous decision without their knowledge? I asked Lightning about how her husband would react if he saw us talking about relationship advice, because I wouldn't want my lady to be kept in the dark about such a video project either. I respect her thoughts and opinions because, over the years, I have learned to change a bit of my perspective. If you ever want to be in a serious long-term relationship, my first bit of advice would be to stop thinking in terms of I, me, or my when you are making decisions. Instead, try to imagine those same thoughts in terms of we, us, and our. Instead of saying, how will this affect me, try thinking more about how will this affect us. The goals you are striving towards, the places and people you live and work with, even the money you spend on a daily basis. When your significant other notices how much you care about their well-being, even in your everyday thoughts and actions, it helps them to feel important.
This I would agree with completely. How it works with me in terms of our relationship is the matter of communication on the highest, as well as unwavering trust for each other. I've been with my partner now for about 2 years in marriage, and we've been together since 2009. In that time of being together, what I come to understand in our relationship is that we never keep things from each other. We share our feelings, what's on our mind, and know that we will understand because we would do the same for each other. There is a struggle that comes with that, unfortunately. There are certain topics that he and I just do not wish to talk about, but we know deep down that we must address. Sometimes these conversations can lead to stress, and maybe even a bicker. Topics such as, for married couples, starting a family, buying a house, or even improving our income by going for new career goals. Or moving in together, having a stable income to provide for the future, or popping the question for those that are dating. These types of discussions can be terrifying. I know because I experienced this fear with my other half when I quit my former job to invest in a career as an artist and brony reviewer. I was so scared that he would be angry, or that he would stop talking to me, or worse, he would be disappointed. Yet the irony is, he felt the exact same way. He was just afraid for our future, but he was never disappointed in my decision. In fact, he has, and still continues to support me to this day. But looking back, both of us had fears, and we surprisingly used this feeling to reconnect with each other, and we are able to communicate knowing we are on the same level.
Which brings another topic to mind. Struggle. How close of a relationship you have with your significant other actually has a lot to do with how much struggle you go through together. While we shall always strive towards the blissful, romantic moments, dreaming of better times free from everyday problems, it is simply a fact of life that we will always have to struggle. The struggle will often change as we step further into the future, but then again, change is inevitable. Growth is optional. In the end, everyone struggles. You just have to choose who you're going to struggle with. The more intimately you know someone, the more clearly you'll see their flaws. That's just the way it is. This is why marriages fail, why children are abandoned, why friendships don't last. You might think you love someone until you see the way they act when they're out of money or under pressure or hungry, for goodness sake. Love is something different. Love is choosing to serve someone and be with someone in spite of their filthy heart. Love is patient and kind. Love is deliberate. Love is hard. Love is pain and sacrifice. It's seeing the darkness in another person and defying the impulse to jump ship.
Love is not a game, but following it comes with so many rewards. Those rewards have to be earned just the same as Doc said, through determination, sacrifice, and patience. You cannot simply say, "I love you," and expect the pros to come to you so easily. It has to be earned by balancing with your other half. There is that fear that someone isn't investing enough into the relationship as much as you are, and confronting this fact sadly can lead to termination of that relationship. It's very painful when this occurs, I won't lie, and it's something all of us may have to face. But rather than allowing sadness to fill you up, I find that it has a learning experience. It's trial and error like this that helps us to figure out what we want in a relationship. However, when it comes to marriage, the commitment has to be enforced. There are going to be times of pure joy as well as pure sadness, of health and of sickness, and it's those times of struggle where true love tends to shine the most. The hardships of taking care of my husband when he becomes ill, knuckling down when he complains of aches or pains, or having to go shopping without him at your side, it can be frustrating, if not annoying. But seeing the end results of taking care of him, and see him recover thanks to gentle care and patience, has more rewards than I can ever describe. It's about taking the good with the bad and receiving a reward for all of my efforts, such as his love and gratitude. It also adds reassurance that he will do the same for me. Oh, okay. I believe the best approach to finding the right Somepony for you is to start out as friends and to be the kind of pony you want to find your special Somepony. In my experience as an introvert, and highly like Fluttershy in my personality, I know very well just how hard it is to get out there and make friends when my great fears and struggles with social situations can be so overwhelming. For me, just the thought of going out and talking to someone I don't know, or even trying to be in the presence of someone who is clearly more intelligent, talented, or physically attractive can be very intimidating. It takes me longer to fully warm up to new people to the point that I can feel safe being myself and not having to worry I'd say or do something stupid, or leave an awkward impression. These kinds of moments can be a bit paralyzing in my efforts to go out and make friends. This has been a challenge all throughout my life. Even with this being the case, there have been people kind enough to look past my awkwardness and become friends with me even with my struggles.
Very well spoken, my lady. I greatly appreciate your added perspective here, and you as well, Lightning. We hope these words will help inspire you to take a few more steps outside of your comfort zone, and perhaps find the confidence and courage that will draw others to your presence.
Okay. We each have our different talents and abilities, as well as our struggles, but that's what helps us to lift each other up throughout our lives together. I couldn't agree more. Otherwise, if we were all the same, we wouldn't be special to one another. It's our faults that just as much as our talents that make us unique. My husband may be a frost demon, but he's my frost demon, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you so much for including me in this topic. It has brought me just as much insight as much as I had to share.
And now, we would love to hear from each of you. Whether there are questions you'd like to have answered, or perhaps some experiences you can share that might help others, we hope you can post your thoughts in the comments below. Please let us know whether you enjoyed this discussion, and whether you'd like to see more of these topics in the future. And as always, I am Dr. Wolf, and we look forward to hearing from you.